The Pope, the Archbishop of Canterbury and the moderator of the Church of Scotland are on an historic three-day visit to South Sudan. They've called it a pilgrimage of peace to the country where more than 400,000 people have been killed in violence since independence 12 years ago. Our religion editor, Lee McBool, is travelling with them.
It's his 40th foreign trip as Pope, but it's a visit like no other. A journey that takes him to South Sudan, but what makes it unique is that for the first time, leaders of other global Christian denominations are visiting with him. When we landed, the moderator of the Church of Scotland, Ian Greenshields, and Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, climbed on board to greet the Pope. They're here together to persuade leaders in this young, troubled nation to put aside their differences for the sake of their people. "I've come with two brothers," said the Pope. "Stretching out our hands, we present ourselves to you and to this people." Since independence in 2011, South Sudan slipped quickly into conflict. It's along tribal and not religious lines, but the leaders are mainly Christian, Catholic, Anglican and Presbyterian. Back in 2019, in one of the most powerful moments of his papacy, Pope Francis kissed the feet of the South Sudanese rivals at the end of a meeting at the Vatican. They promised to work for lasting peace, but little changed. So the religious leaders came here. Does the same thing happen? You make a dramatic gesture and you go away and things don't move forward?
Dramatic gestures are to kick open doors, to create momentum. They don't solve problems. What they do is they may unstick stuck situations, and then they have to be followed up.
And in response to the visit, South Sudan's president says he'll meet rivals who for years he's shunned. But in spite of the fanfare and celebration here now, there's much scepticism about the long-term impact. Aleem Maqbool, BBC News in Juba.
Our BBC Africa correspondent Mercy Juma is there in South Sudan and told us how the Pope's visit is being received.
A very good afternoon from Juba. So there's a lot of optimism, a lot of expectation from the Pope's visit. And you can judge this especially from, just the amount or the number of people who are outside of their homes, who are not on the streets. The streets are pretty clear, and they are in strategic points just waiting for the Pope. When you speak to the people of Juba, they only have one expectation, that the message of hope and reconciliation that the Pope and the other two leaders are bringing will be embraced and really taken up by their political leaders, who the Pope has already met and had very, very strong words to say to. So most of them hope that this will mean something for their country, as much as the Pope comes at a time when just a few days ago there was a clashes in somewhere outside Juba and 27 people were killed, something which unfortunately is not is the norm in this country, that people can fight, people are killed, and it's news that they hear every day, and they're really hopeful that this time and when the Pope leaves tomorrow going forward, the news that they will be getting or coming out of South Sudan will be different.